On June 6, 1944, General Dwight D. Eisenhower's orders were carried out to storm Omaha Beach in Normandy, France. Among the troops was the segregated United States Army 320th Barrage Balloon Battalion. It included Waverly Woodson Jr. Germans hit their carrier with a barrage of shells, blasting the landing craft, killing the man sitting next to Woodson and pelting him with shrapnel. Close enough to the shore, they waded to the beach, carrying the wounded in need of medical attention. Woodson was treated and answered the call for action. As a trained medic, he assessed the situation and spent the next 30 hours removing bullets, dispensing blood plasma, setting limbs, bandaging wounds, applying sulfa powder, and performing amputations. He saved 4 men from drowning by pulling them to shore and administering CPR. He and other medics set up a field dressing station. While under intense artillery and small arms fire, Woodson continued treating more than 200 soldiers, black and white. Finally, he was exhausted and collapsed and was transferred to a hospital ship for treatment of his own injuries. The 320th Barrage Balloon Battalion's mission was to launch blimp-like hydrogen-filled spears to protect strategic sites from Axis aerial assaults. They trained in Tennessee during the height of Jim Crow racism, where they were not welcome at local restaurants while watching German prisoners of war enjoying service at these restaurants. After D-Day, the battalion was sent to Georgia, where they endured racist slurs on the base from white soldiers. The unit later shipped out to Hawaii. General Eisenhower recognized the 320th, stating that it, quote, carried out its mission with courage and determination and proved an important element of the air defense team, end quote. Woodson was hailed the #1 invasion hero in black newspapers across the country. The Stars and Stripes, the military newspaper, wrote that he and his fellow medics, quote, covered themselves with glory on D-Day, end quote. The United States Army issued a news release in August 1944 that called him, quote, a modest Negro American soldier who was cited by his commanding officer for extraordinary bravery, end quote. But Woodson was not considered for the Medal of Honor, the highest U.S. military award for extraordinary valor while in action. In fact, of the hundreds of Medal of Honor recipients during World War II, one black soldier received one, even though there were more than 1 million who served in the conflict. Consider this. When Woodson was recommended to receive the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest military award, General John C. Lee stated that Woodson had earned and was entitled to the Medal of Honor. However, both were denied because of his race. The Philadelphia Tribune wrote, quote, the feeling is prevalent among Negroes that had Woodson been of another race, the highest honor, the Medal of Honor, would have been granted him, end quote. Waverly Bernard Woodson Jr. was born in 1922 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After graduating high school, he attended Lincoln University as a pre-med student. He'd hoped to study medicine, but was unable to find a medical school that would admit black students. After the war, he completed a degree in biology from Lincoln in 1950. But in 1942, he and his brother Eugene enlisted in the United States Army. Despite high aptitude test scores, he was not able to serve in the United States Army Coast Artillery Corps because of his race. Race became a factor in 1950 when Woodson was reactivated to serve in the Korean War. He was initially assigned to train combat medics at Fort Benning in Georgia, but due to his race, he was instead reassigned to the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, the sergeant in charge morgue, performing autopsies. He earned the rank of staff sergeant and left the Army in 1952. That year, he married and had a family. He worked in related careers and retired in 1980. Woodson died in 2005. But what about the hero honors that he deserved? Woodson received a Purple Heart, and in 1945 he was approved for a Bronze Star Medal, but it was not awarded due to his redeployment out of Europe. In 1994, Woodson was one of 3 veterans invited by the government of France to visit Normandy to commemorate the 50th anniversary of D-Day. They presented him a commemorative medallion. But what about the Medal of Honor? It is written that Woodson did not receive the Medal of Honor because of racial discrimination and a fire that destroyed World War II records at the National Personnel Records Center in 1973. Woodson was allowed to die without hearing how grateful his government was for his services. In 2021, 16 years after his death, Commanding General of the 1st United States Army, Thomas S. James, Jr., wrote in favor of Woodson receiving the Medal of Honor, but not yet. In 2020, Woodson was approved for the Combat Medical Badge, and it was awarded in 2023 along with the Bronze Star Medal from 1945. In June 1924, Senator Van Hollen announced that Woodson would posthumously be awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for extraordinary heroism in combat. Since his death, resulting from tireless efforts by his family and supporters, Woodson has received many awards in America and abroad, including those mentioned and the Good Conduct Medal, the American Campaign Medal, Europe, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, World War II Victory Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Korean Service Medal, United Nations Medal, but no Medal of Honor yet.